A new wave has formed for Season 2, an epic tour that ends with a new legacy. The OGs are back, ready to defend their legacy, while fresh meat joins the competition, eager to make their mark. Who is willing to battle door-to-door and conquer 2024? Buckle up, because the season of a lifetime is among us.
Here we go. Who's going to get the better restart?
Look at all this action as we come on lap 100.
Seven. We're going to go around. This could be the big one.
Hey, four wide in Texas. Todd falls back. There's another bump. There's another hit. Cox into Miranda. Take
Week 3 is full of twists and turns for the Sim Rap Market Series. 20 twists and turns per lap. To be exact, we're off to Austin, Texas in pursuit of the next SWM Series winner and the next chapter in this second season of racing. Welcome to Pit Stop TV in the virtual Austin, Texas. My name is Andrew Cardinale IV with Scott Shive alongside, and it's a pleasure to join you for continuing coverage of the No Limit Racing Sim Rap Market Series. Tonight's coverage from COTA is brought to you by No Limit Racing, by Sim Rap Market, and by all series partners. And boy, we are ready for a wild one down in Texas. This is going to be a bunch of fun thanks to Apex Racing, IMB Racewear, Moser Racing, RS Button Boxes, Team Conti Sim Performance, and everybody else on that graphic that I couldn't read off in time. Anyways, we are here, Scott, ready to go racing for the third time this season. First Daytona, then Bristol. Now from one of the largest ovals on the series to the smallest oval on the series to now the biggest road course NASCAR runs at. Circuit of the Americas. This place is massive, expansive, it's difficult to get around, and boy is it a lot of fun to broadcast.
I was telling you, I've never gotten to see anyone run here at the Circuit of the Americas, and I'm so excited about it.
Well, you had to buy the track.
Yeah, no, I know. It's pretty darn new, and if you're a Formula One fan, you might have just watched the Formula One race here, but opened in 2012. It has a 120,000 capacity. Pit road speed is 50 miles per hour. It's 3.42 miles long. So very, very long track. Probably one of the longest we'll go to all season here. So this is going to be an exciting race here on this 20-turn street road course.
It drives a bit like a street course. I wouldn't fault you at all for that one. But yeah, no, this place is super difficult. It will be the longest track we visit this season. Sonoma, the only other road course, checks in at right about 2 miles. So this is nearly double that. This is a long course each and every lap. And minutes, we're talking minutes for lap times, 2 minutes or so, 2 minutes and change. So this place will be a challenging one this evening. Let's take a look at point standings before we go down for qualifying. Point standings are usually the most important graphic of the week for me. And Zach Millett sits on top now with his one win from Bristol. Dalton Tucker in second, Jeremy Brown in third. Matthew Taylor and Mendenhall, the rest of the top 5. Holden McGill with his Daytona win sinks down to 8th. Nathan Paris is one driver who surprised me in practice. I believe second quick. He's surprised me in the top 10 as well. He's 9th coming into tonight in the point standings, and in that first group of drivers, I would say within 100 points of the leader. Then you have Daniel Wiles and Quentin Lee nearly tied at 10th and 11th. And then everything just kind of spreads out with little packs here and there of drivers who are close together in points and drivers who are separated. You have Sean Bounty at 122 back all the way down to really Daniel Wiles at 117 back in 10th through Matt Cherry at 140 back. I mean, there isn't a position separated by more than about 5 points within that whole group. Everybody is really tightly packed from 10th down through the 19th position. Then it's a little bit of a spread back to Michael Moultrie and a larger spread back to Colin Terrell in 21st. And we're going to see this graphic be very fluid these first few weeks of the season as well, Scott. I mean, there is going to be a lot of moving around until we settle into a groove here.
No, these drivers are still getting settled. Like you said, we started this season with 3 extremely different tracks, and we'll go to another one next week with Las Vegas, a mile-and-a-half track. So these drivers are really being thrown for a loop here at the start of the season, so it's really hard to get settled with different tracks like this. That's why another reason one of these drivers are so close. We'll see as the weeks go on, those gaps will gain a little bit, but I think as we go on, Andrew, these drivers fighting here between the 8th, 9th position all the way back to 20th, that is going to be a hard-fought battle all regular season long for these guys trying to make the top 16.
Well, and we're making the top 12, actually. I got clarification earlier today. So it's basically left half is in, right half is out. The chase is very simple here in the SimRap Market Series for No Limit Racing. The top 12 make it. The rest of the field does not. And it's basically the old chase format where they're taking 12 drivers on points, not on wins. 12 drivers on points from the first 13 races, I believe it is. Or is it first 12? We'll check in a second. First 12, there you go. So we could have 12 different winners, who knows. But 12 drivers on points, and then they race it out for 6 races, again, on points. So very, very old school I say old school, and that's weird to say because that format is not. That's within my
not very
lifetime.
old.
Yeah, but it is now old school in terms of playoff formats, I'd say. So very simple, right? Very simple situation here for the series to break down. And at least on this graphic, it's going to be made easy. I mean, left half is in, right half is out. That's as simple as it can get.
Exactly. I mean, there's no better way to put it. So we'll continue to follow along with that with each and every race, and the battles are going to be, like we said, extremely exciting all season long here, trying to make it to this top 12.
And here you see the full schedule of 18 races, the first 12 races set up for the chase, the playoffs, whatever you want to call it. Then it's St. Louis at Gateway, then Homestead, Miami, then you've got Talladega, Sonoma, the lone road course in the chase, then Kansas and California to wrap this season up all the way on March 12th. So, again, very simple. You've got the first 2/3 of the season as the regular season, the last third of the season as the playoffs. Very, very simple. It can't get much simpler than this without removing the playoff format in its entirety. So this is very easy to follow. I like what they've done here at the SimRat Market Series. No Limit Racing has got their wits about them for sure. But let's talk about qualifying. Weather conditions in the air. 75. Oh, well, Noah Rainwater ruined the graphic. Oh, Noah, come on. Anyways, we'll take a look here in a second if we can.
I was just going to say, we were so close.
So close, but 76 degrees in the air, 100 on track, partly cloudy skies. It is a picture-perfect day to go sim racing. Let's break into the iRacing.com sim. There we go. You can see it's partly cloudy. And, boy, we couldn't imagine a better sim day as Vicente Salas has gone to the top of the board, and he's a story in and of himself, Vicente Salas is.
Yeah, you told me the news.
Yes, an eNASCAR iRacing Coca-Cola Series driver from Tony Kanaan Esports checking in this evening in car number 11, and he'll be scored as the 79 car because Peyton Howell runs the 11 car here in the No Limit Racing SimRat Market Series. But it's a pleasure to have Vicente along with us this evening, and he led practice. I think he's very likely to lead most of, if not the entire race. So it's really a race to try and beat Vicente for everybody else, especially going for the series championship. They want to get this race win if they can, and they will be chasing car number 79 to do it. He's fastest so far in qualifying, was fastest in practice. We'll see if anybody has anything for Vicente today.
Man, did you see his brake rotors heading up turn 1? Heavy on the brakes. Look at him. You'll see him here down into turn 11. Oh, look at him glow.
So that was turn 12. You know what? 3 very similar corners. So
I was gonna say I was guessing there. It was either 11 or 12. They're very close.
Yes, 3 very similar corners, 1, 11, and 12. They all have about the same challenge. Very hard braking zone after a longer straightaway. In fact, 1 and 12 are almost the same corner, just minus the elevation change. But Vicente Salas in car 79 running around this evening, fastest so far. There's Nathan Paris from Panto Racing Club, and I really love what we're seeing from him this season. He is, again, 9th in the standings. He's kind of an underdog, I feel like, very quietly, just getting solid points. 2nd so far in qualifying. He's one to watch.
Well, right now he's only 2/10 off his best lap in practice, so let's see if he can gain any more here in his second lap. He'll want to try to. He's a little bit more than a second off of Vicente Salas right now. Trying to get to that pole, but a second to make up is pretty tough, as we'll see. Vicente just went a 2:11.6, so he gained there almost half a tenth. We'll see Nathan Paris come across the line here trying to improve.
And he will. It's a 2:12.757, but it's not good enough for pole. He's about a second off of Vicente Salas still. Here's Zach Millett, currently in the 4th spot in qualifying. Adam Benefield's fast this evening. He is 6th so far. You've got drivers now ending their runs, so it's getting a little bit sparse to find drivers who are still out there qualifying in the final 2 minutes. Let's bring up the standing graphic on the left side of your screen. You can see where everybody stands in this qualifying session. Rasfield is a surprise in 3rd. Holden McGill in 5th. Benefield.
Right now our two winners in the top 5.
Yeah, you're right. Millett and McGill, both in the top 5. They could be going for a repeat win this evening. Spencer Ray is a pleasant surprise in the top 10. Ryan Dingler there. Michael Moultrie and Daniel Wiles, I think, definitely are ones to watch in this top 10. But we still have a few drivers who could go for the top 10, who could go for solid starting positions, such as Christian Light and, well, Alfie Sharon could be one to watch here in the 99 car. I know he used to run the Noble Racing Series where they ran late models on road courses. I don't think we ever came to COTA, but that series was on Pit Stop TV way back when, and I know he's in with that group anyways. So we'll see what Alfie Sharon Jr. has on his lap as he looks to complete lap 1 in a few seconds.
I would say the late models are too small for road courses, but or anything for COTA, but they ran them at any other road course, so why not here too? That'd be really sick. We should get some series to do that sometime. It'd be awesome. You talked about Spencer Ray as we look along with Sean Bounty here at his lap. You talk about Spencer Ray, and he's had pace in the past 2 weeks. Caught up in an incident last week, but if he can keep in the top 10 today, he can claw back from his 22nd position in points. Now Michael Moultrie out here.
We'll go on board of Casey Knighton, one of the few drivers that has not set a time yet. A lot of drivers are skipping qualifying, it looks like, and a lot of drivers ran their laps, or a couple of drivers ran their laps and didn't get a time in without getting an incident point. Of course, you get an incident point for going off track. Casey Knighton here, though, with a 2:19.955, will not get a lap in. That does not count. It's not going to count for car 28, so he's got to go around it again, and he's not going to have time to do so. Christian Light, though, across the stripe. Looks like his lap will not count either. It was maybe an out lap or something for Christian Light, so he's going to be done. Alfie Sharon Jr., though, went 25th with his lap time, so 30 cars are going to turn a qualifying lap. Everybody else is going to get lined up by whatever metric iRacing decides to use, and that's going to change things up for sure. There's a lot of bigger names in the series that did not get a lap in. Brandon Frohnapple, Matt Lovett being a couple of the biggest and a couple of teammates.
Well, and how iRacing does it is they do it by iRating. So they'll do it by your iRating score, is how you'll be lined up if you did not put a lap in.
Well, let's check out the full starting grid of 43 cars this evening, plus one race control. On pole position, you've got Vicente Salas with cars 79. Nathan Paris rolls off to his outside. Starting third, it's Ian Brasfield. Zach Millett from his right shoulder. Starting fifth, it's going to be none other than Adam Benefiel. Then Holden McGill in the sixth position. And to complete your top 10, we'll have Spencer Ray, Ryan Digler, Michael Moultrie, and Daniel Wiles.
And back in 11th, the 21 of Dalton Tucker on his outside. That 5 of Noah Rainwater, first person to put a lap down, just falls outside the top 10. Then the 82 of Brian Wirtz sits 13th, while the 2 of Quentin Lee is 14th. In 15th will be that 34 of Sean Bounty, and 16th, the 39 of Joseph Tucker. Edward Jurgen sits 17th in that 92 car, and in 18th we'll find the 27 of Jared Wishon. In 19th, the 23 of Tristan Bruce, and in 20th, the 01 of Kevin West.
21st position this evening, it's Gary Bowman in the 08 car. Brian Rose rolls off from the 22nd spot. 23rd and 24th, Michael Matta and Jeremy Brown here in the 07 from Elite Motorsports. His teammate just a couple of rows up. 25th, it's Alfie Sharon Jr. Brian Ruisi ends up in the field this evening. That's good. After last week of Bristol, not making the field. He makes the field here at COTA. He'll start 26th. 27th, will be Matthew Montgomery. He's got a very special sponsor on his car. We'll talk more about that later on, with Mark Martinek making his first start, I believe, of the season in 28th. Daniel Half and Dylan Cardenas will start from the final positions of the top 30.
And we'll have in 31st, we'll have the 48 of Christopher Tate. I've broadcast him in a few series. He's a great driver here. Then the 32nd position, 37 of Andon Mendenhall. We've seen him perform well in the past 2 weeks, but a little lower down than he probably wanted to. Then in 33rd, we'll have the 14 of Robert Kahn with Matt Sherry to his outside. In 35th will be Brandon Frohnapple, and in 36th, the 41 of Matt Lovett. 37th will be Matthew Taylor, alongside the 58 of Richard Lanning in 38th position. In 39th, the 51 of Austin McLaughlin, and in the 40th position will be the 20 of Colin Terrell.
Cody Ellis and Casey Knighton make up row 21, and finally in row 22, it's Christian Light all back there by his lonesome. You see the number 9 car now, Matthew Montgomery. Let's zoom in on that car and take a look at the West Texas Pepper Traders Incorporated Toyota Camry. I don't know of many drivers in the field that are from Texas. He's got a very Texas car. I believe he's technically from Arkansas, I think is what we learned, but let's see. Yeah, Arkansas. but close enough. We'll call it his home race, and certainly the sponsor's home race there. Dr. Pepper and Buc-ee's on the side. You can't get much more Texas than the 9 car this evening and this season. But let's go through your Whiplash SimCam's race details quickly. A 34-lap race, very simple, no stages. 3 change sets in the pit lane, 65% fuel should carry these drivers for just under 20 laps. 6 setups, no fast fix, up to 3 green-white checkers. So we should be looking at a 1 pit stop race. About as simple as you can get. That's a theme this evening. Keeping things simple in the No Limit Racing Series. No gimmicks, no special weird rules or anything. It's all very simple. Just a straight 34-lap race, about 1 pit stop expected, and plenty of tires in the pit lane for them all to enjoy. Down into turn number 20, there's the entire field of 43. Out of turn 20, here we go. Onto the front straightaway at Circuit of the Americas, waiting on the green flag from Barney the Flagman. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Eventually, I think we're using the second start-finish line. So eventually here will go green, waiting for it. There's the green light. We're off and away at Circuit of the Americas. Everybody spreads out for the first turn. 3, 4, 5 wide into the first corner. Everybody gets on through from the looks of things. McGill way out wide, Rainwater out wide, and a crash.
Oh,
Dingler! Tucker now around in the middle of the field. He's going to bring a couple more. Brian Rose, Gary Bowman.
Oh my goodness, I was just about to say we were very clear, but we are not clear at all. Oh my goodness, more wrecks.
Massive, massive incident altogether on the first lap through the first turn. Everybody else gets away scot-free. Out front, it's Vicente Salas, then Ian Brasfield and Zach Millett, your top 3. Spencer Race sits 4th. Michael Moultrie sits 5th.
Well, that really mixed up our field. We got Christopher Tate back there and Endon Mendenhall gaining 12 positions through that spread. Then up here at the front, a little bit mixed up. Nathan Paris fell 5 positions.
Wow, what a wild start, and McGill's around! McGill around out of turn 11, right in front of half the field. Brian Wirtz gets on by Michael Matta, Edward Jurgen, and there's more chaos down at turn 11, but not nearly as bad as turn 1. Turn 1 got a lot of these guys.
It was more like turn 2. I was surprised we didn't see something truly happen in turn 1, but then down, everybody was trying to cluster back together to make it through turn 2. I guess everyone was focused on making it cleanly through 1. They weren't really thinking about the rejoin.
Well, last week's winner sits 2nd place. Zach Millett has made the pass on Ian Brasfield here on lap 1. He's going to be fun to watch. Moultrie's made the pass on Spencer Ray for 4th. Nathan Paris sinks down to the 6th spot, behind that number 61 Ford Mustang Dark Horse. And everything has been turned on its head on this first lap of racing. We'll take a look back at the turn 1 replay once this lap goes complete. That's the procedure here for road courses. We let the first lap go complete at the very least and try to catch up on everything else.
I did not expect us to have an incident like that. I still don't know what happened, but wow, I did not expect something like that, as we'll see Vicente Salas lead the first lap here.
And league admins informed these drivers today there would not be full course cautions unless absolutely needed. Local cautions only. And if we were ever going to see a full course yellow, it would have been right there on lap 1 when everybody's packed up together and going through that first turn. Now everybody's spread out. Might be a couple of localized issues, but we're not going to see a full course caution now. There's no way.
I didn't think we ever were in the entire race, but I really thought with that many cars around and people still piling in, I thought we might have seen one, but you're right, Andrew. We will not see one now with all these cars spread out. Anything else will be local, so we will go green to the end here.
Watching from the fan cam as we'll let the ticker roll through one more time, all the way down through Austin McColgan, down in the 43rd spot.
Oh, a little bit of a lockup from Vicente right there.
Yeah, he's hustling the car for sure. He wants to get away from these guys and run on his own terms. But let's see what happened here on lap 1, turn 1. There's the field behind the pit building, and this is into turn 1. Let's slow things down a little bit this first time through. I see 4 wide in the 3rd row. McGill's on the outside of Dingler, then Ray and no, that's Benefield on the inside at the apex of turn 1. So 4 wide there, and McGill runs wide.
Yeah, the Dingler is where it all begins. So watch that purple car up in the top. We'll see what happens to him. I tell you and call it out as it is because I don't know what happened until now.
Right here, right there.
Yep,
That's where it starts. So Brian Wirtz is coming over, Dingler's coming over the other direction, and they just meet in the middle.
Yeah, Wirtz was not going to the... I'm interested as to why Wirtz was turning right there so soon.
And then you see here, it starts up again with Dalton Tucker and Sean Boundy.
Yep.
Tucker goes for a spin, and everybody's trying to avoid it. I mean, he's on the racing line. The racing line right there. So everybody's trying to miss that 21 car. We'll shift over to him now. And Mercedes Salas goes purple, but
then
Brian
Tucker
Rose...
gets the 98.
Yeah, Dalton
Brian
Tucker
Rose
gets the 98 of Brian Rose, yep, and everybody's just trying to miss it.
Yeah, and then I think there's stuff or more up where Brian Rose was. Golly, I did not expect this.
So that's the first slow-mo shot. We'll go back and get a full replay here in real time and just watch this one back. So they're behind the pit building, they come on by, and here we go. Let's start off with the 21 of Dalton Tucker because it's going to happen right in front of him. Wirtz just turned right.
It's so odd. I don't understand why he turned right there.
I don't know if he was just going for an early turn-in or what, but he turns right as Dingler's coming left.
Right. I mean, Dingler would have... I would have imagined that he would have thought Wirtz was going to go all the way to the left to get a good setup into turn 2.
Here's the onboard with Dalton Tucker. Now runs 41st position. Wow. So Wirtz fires up the inside of Tucker. Wirtz made a big move here for turn 1. That is aggressive.
It was a good move, and then he just stays in the middle of the track here, starts to turn right.
It was a good move until it suddenly wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
A lot of.
And then McColgan comes over, and there's even more crashing.
Yeah, Tucker fell almost 30 positions from the start. Brian Rose fell 20 positions. Daniel Hoff, he's out of this race. I'm not sure if he made the start. He's down 3 laps. Yeah, he made the start. He's down 3 laps. He lost 14.
Oh, Wirtz got loose. That's what it is. He got loose in the power. I just noticed it. The body language of the car. He got loose. We'll go back and listen to it from the in-car. So listen here.
That makes sense now.
I know you're not going to hear this one, Scott, but everybody watching can. So we'll stay quiet here in a second. He fires up the inside of Tucker, then Moultrie. And I'll go quiet here. Listen to the car when he gets back to power. You can even see the RPM spike.
That's what I was looking at. Since I can't hear it. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense now. Because any other explanation really wouldn't have made sense for him just turning right.
One more time. We're going to watch Wirtz fired up the inside, then we'll catch Ryan Dingler in the 16 cars. There's Wirtz up the inside, Dingler's on the outside, in that 4-wide even. Then he backs out with Rainwater on his right side. And we'll watch this all unfold. Just incredible.
Speaking of Wirtz, he's moving back through the field up to 11th, just past Jared Wishon. That is crazy.
And Brian Rose now sits in the pit lane. We'll collect the drivers who are sat here in the pits. Rose is one of them, McColgan's another, and Dalton Tucker, another driver in the pits waiting on repairs and might be done for the day. That's why Tucker sits in 41st spot. Next up the road will be Cody Ellis in the 4 car in 40th spot. And up the road from him is his teammate Colin Terrell. So the Panto Racing Club drivers are sitting in the back right now, aside from Nathan Paris, who runs up in 8th. And Paris has got Boundy out his windshield.
Yeah. He's trying to move back up through the field. Not sure what happened on that opening lap, because everything else that transpired through turn 2, everything we were just looking at, happened behind the 8th position. So I'm not sure what happened to Paris, because he fell to 7th on the opening lap.
Well, he's going for 7th now on the right side of Sean Boundy. Looks to the left now for turn 15. No opportunity at the apex, but tries to get back to power early, and it's just not going to work here for the stadium section.
We'll try to go through 16, 17, set up the pass here into 18. following into 19 here. A little bit of a heavier braking zone. Sometimes you can make the pass. Paris is going to go for it on the inside. Bounty really can't do anything to defend. Oh, Paris gets loose.
I was going to say, realistically, unless he can get to the inside in 19, his best chance to pass is turn 1. But he does get to the inside in 19 and set up for 20. Loose on power, so he's going to have to complete the pass down in turn 1 as Bounty gets a run on the outside.
He's going to get a run, but I don't think he's going to clear him here. Paris is going to have to shove it into 1. He will. He'll later on the brakes, trying to go for it. Man, that beautiful paint scheme, that 75 chrome Chevy. Oh, he's not going to do it.
Paris just can't get him. Bounty putting up a solid defense.
He would have had it. He was just a little aggressive.
There we go.
There. Bounty had to back out there through the S's. It's so difficult to go through there 2x2, especially in these Cup Series cars. It's almost a waste to try to go through side by side because one of you will wreck.
There's a battle down the road for 16th spot. Jurgen and Cardenas, and this is a big start to the race for Edward Jurgen. He's had an abysmal couple of weeks to start the season, so this is a big time boost to his ego, I think, to be sitting 16th right now on lap 5 of 34. This is so much better than anything we've seen from him so far, and it's not been his doing. It's been bad luck for the 92 car, so it's good to see him having a better day so far as they're going to pass the lap car of McColgan. And that includes Christopher Tate, who the 92 looks up to the inside of. Tate holds on to that spot, but Jurgen was looking for it.
Man, Christopher Tate, I love to watch him. I got to watch him and be able to call him in Monday Night Racing. And, man, he is just a hard, tough driver. And he is up to currently 35th position. Or, excuse me, whoa, 30, wait.
Started 31st, runs 15th, yeah.
I'm combining numbers here. Oh! A little bit wide there through turn 11, or excuse me, that was 12, I think. It was 12, and so he's up 15 positions. That's what I was gonna say.
Well, this is a fun little fight right here that's happening. There is another fight on the road with Daniel Wiles and Alfie Sharon Jr. And Ryan Dingler. So the Dingler, Wiles, Alfie Sharon, they sit here in the 20th, 21st, and 22nd spots, all running together. And there's a battle that's forming even inside the top 10 for the second spot, actually. Zach Millett is starting to come under pressure from Ian Brasfield ever so slightly. As these laps wear on, the 89 car gets a little bit closer here, a little bit closer there. Might fall back here and there as well, but inside of a second, I think, is certainly worth noting for the 31 camp. And anytime you've got a car behind you within a second, you know when you hit a straightaway, that draft is going to kick in, and that car is going to catch up. How much, you don't know exactly. It depends on how well they get back to power, but you know they're going to catch up.
You know they're going to catch up. It's all about the corners here, though. Obviously, there's 20 of them, and that's where you make all your speed. Wow, late on the brakes there was Ian Brasfield.
Wirtz just pitted.
Really?
I don't know why.
Oh, I guess. I don't know if they can make it from 28 laps.
Quentin Lee just came in
as well. If
so
we see a lot of people coming here, I'm going to imagine that they can make it.
It's a 65% fuel load. When we had the Icon Cup Series here at 60%, they had about a 16-lap fuel window, 14 to 16 laps. So 65% tells me about 17 to 18.
Yeah. No more than 20 at maximum.
I'm surprised to see drivers pitting this early.
Well, how many was that? Was that 2? I've seen more.
That
in the
was
box
2.
Right,
yeah, Quentin Lee.
Michael Matta came in. He was in the lane for a long time. He must have problems.
He was in about 2. Yeah, he was in 2 laps ago.
Yeah.
It's really the guys who are on the race that just came back on the racetrack that we have to worry about. Matt Cherry has just come back on the racetrack, but he was in the pit lane for a while. See a lot of rear end damage to his MPI machine. So that's a fun little curveball.
Yeah, Quentin Lee came in. Looks like he took fuel only. Or it looks like he was... Oh, he might have been... This might be some drivers serving a penalty. Some of them,
Could
at least
be.
Quentin Lee. And he didn't go through his box. So, not all of them, but some people could be serving a penalty there.
It could be race control handing out drive-thrus for involvement in the crash.
Maybe so. I'm not sure. But I definitely agree with you. I don't think they can make it from here.
Well, we'll follow battles for the time being. One of them including Daniel Wiles and now the 6-car Mark Martinek, rather. There's no way that he has to run car 6 if he's Mark Martinek. Mark Martin, ring a bell?
Oh, it rings a bell.
That's the best name to run a 6-car, and that must be why he runs the 6-car, I would imagine.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That is a solid name for Mark Martinek.
That's awesome. Daniel Wiles there gets the pass on Martinek.
Alfie Sharon Jr. now looks to make it a move there on the 6-car. That would be for the 19th spot now. Got a battle inside the top 5. It's Benefiel on Moultrie as they work through turn 11. Moultrie has lost that spot to Spencer Ray. Now loses a spot here to Adam Benefiel, who is going to try and complete the pass down this long mile or so back straightaway into turn 12.
They'll be side by side. Benefiel late on the brakes, still side by side with Moultrie, but he'll have the inside. Locks it up a little bit, but Moultrie won't have enough. He'll fall in line.
I do enjoy this racetrack.
It's awesome. It's great.
I used to be a Coda hater, and I've become a Coda believer. At least with stock cars.
From hater to believer.
Yes, at least with stock cars. It is such a fantastic racetrack for these stock cars to lap around. I don't know why. Just the elevation changes, the technical corners, just something about it makes it so good for these stock cars. At least these NASCAR Next Gen machines, and I'd argue the Xfinity car is fantastic here as well. It's just it puts on such a fantastic product, and we're getting to see some of it here this evening for these 34 laps of racing. Already on to lap 8 though. They are going to click by in a hurry. I mean, 2 minutes and 12 seconds per lap for Vicente Salas. They are going to click by relatively quickly. They are moving pretty quick down these straightaways, so that completes a large portion of the lap within a few seconds. It seems like you hit the gas and you're in the corner. It's just the NASCAR. You know, if you put NASCAR next-gen cars alongside IMSA GT3 cars, they would pass the GT3 cars in the straightaway and then lose the spot immediately in the corner.
Oh, I was going to say, with all the downforce GT3 cars have, I mean, no competition there.
Yeah, you'd feel invincible for a second in the NASCAR stock car, and then you get to the corner, and there goes the GT3 car putting a second on you. You've got to try and get back on the straightaway. What a combo that would be.
I know, like I said, more corners than straightaways here.
Yeah, but you know what? This next-gen car, of course, it was built to be better for road racing, and it does handle these corners nicely. I know it doesn't necessarily put on the greatest races in the real world, at least in terms of public opinion, but I think it's a really solid road racing car. We saw NASCAR and Hendrick Motorsports take a NASCAR next-gen car that was modified, of course, to Le Mans for Project 56, or Garage 56, rather. Project Garage 56, I think it was, or... Anyways,
yeah, Garage 56 car.
Yes.
I watched it all. It was really awesome. Look, if they hadn't have lost the gearbox and had to replace that, I don't remember what it was. I think they would have finished in front of.
It was the transaxle. It broke through Indianapolis.
Yeah, but they would have. I think they would have beaten the LMP2 class as well.
Yes, I believe so.
I think they beat the GT4 class.
It would have been GT3.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And I think they beat both of the classes for GT3.
Yeah, by all means. And, of course, with the long straights there, yeah.
Yeah, what we're saying is this car puts on good stuff here.
Yes, something like that, as Nathan Paris Camp works here on Michael Moultrie. This is for 6th position on the racetrack with now 8 laps complete, on to lap 9. You can see Benefiel working on Spencer Ray up in the distance.
These 4 from 4th to 7th are really close here. Nathan Paris, he finally got past Sean Bounty about 2 laps ago, and he's trying to make it. And we're looking along with Spencer Ray. Switched up his paint scheme this week. He's gone 3 different. He's 3 for 3 right now in the On Our Sleeves number 61, that bright yellow car. Saw him, like I was talking about earlier, we saw him get into an incident last week, but we saw him before that have extreme pace, and we saw him do very well as well at Daytona. So Spencer Ray needs to have a good day here, because I believe he could be someone that could go deep into this championship.
He could absolutely be a solid playoff bet. He's just got to get the season rolling the way he needs it to. And he tried to do that at Bristol last week, but that's also Bristol. I mean, what could you expect out of Bristol? Well, certainly the opportunity to crash. Maybe not always crashes, but the opportunity to crash, and that's what happened for the 61 car, unfortunately. So trying to get the season back the right direction. He's got Benefield to the inside, though, and while Spencer Ray was 4th, he will now slide back to 5th spot.
Benefield, there we go, a little bit heavy on the brakes, beautiful pass through. They'll go side by side as we see Moultrie and Paris side by side as well.
Moultrie on the inside for turn 13 in the RaceEPI.com Ford Mustang. And the Panto Racing Club Chevrolet on the other side of the racetrack will have the advantage here for turn 15 through the stadium section right at the apex there. Tries to have something for the carousel, and it's just not going to happen.
Man, that 14, like exit of 13 into 14 and 15 is probably my favorite section on this track. It's just such a cool turn. It's a little double apex that you don't follow exactly on those curves. You got to find a different run, different line. It's so cool to me.
Oh, here we go. A lunge from Paris to the inside of Moultrie. As you can see, Spencer Ray is also back ahead of Adam Benefield. Paris took a shot there. It misses. Spencer Ray and Adam Benefield, meanwhile, are side by side as they pass Colin Terrell. Benefield on the inside for turn 1 should make that pass easily.
Spencer Ray's going to go real wide here, try to get some momentum down here into turn 2. Don't think it'll be enough, though. Benefield will hold the spot. Now up to 4th.
So pass made there for Benefield. Paris is still trying to make it happen in his Chevrolet. They passed Colin Terrell. They've got 9 seconds back to Sean Bounty for position, so plenty of time to work with.
Paris is hounding the bumper of Moultrie right here. Sorry, I was just looking at him. I mean, he's about to get into his bumper.
Let's watch from the driver perspective inside the helmet here with Nathan Paris.
This is so awesome. You see him right there just getting so... Oh, Moultrie gets loose there on exit.
Slinging the car around. You know, I took some laps here earlier today. I didn't do it in a cup car, as there's the pass opportunity and attempt from car 75 into turn 11. Here's
wide.
The crossover from Moultrie, and Moultrie is going to successfully make that crossover, get back to the inside of Paris, and have the advantage for turn 12 here. He's got the run for now, and he's going to have the inside line. Look at how even they are and how close they get down this straightaway. Hang on, this could be fun.
Paris is going to break later. Moultrie was on him first. Paris is going to have it a little bit, but Moultrie's gotten the tighter line. Still side by side, heading now into 13.
You saw briefly in the foreground, the 6 and 83 are still battling.
Well, this
or
is
61 rather.
And this is a great place to be right now. These 4 cars battling right here. Benefield has prevailed again, but right here.
Oh, Paris! He's going to get into Moultrie and spin the 29 car. Boom! That's a big impact. That is straight into Armco.
Oh, Moultrie's over the radio, and he is not happy.
I'll be surprised if that car isn't bent up.
Oh, he slammed into that outside retaining wall. Man, that is frustrating.
I think he's okay.
He looks fine.
And he's got enough time back to Bounty. He's only going to lose the 1 spot. I mean, this is not that bad of a situation, all things considered. To be turned around and only lose 1 spot on a road course like this, that is not a bad situation, especially when you can run back away from Sean Bounty and company. It could be a lot worse, is my point. So while, yes, he has all the right in the world to be upset, it could be a whole lot worse. We'll pick up the battle right behind Sean Bounty and Joseph Tucker. And we've got Jared with Sean getting passed up by Holden McGill. With Sean on the outside here for turn 1. McGill on the inside.
We saw McGill get spun down in turn 11 and 12 around that area on the opening lap after the craziness. He fell back right outside the top 20, and he is now back up. He just broke into the top 10.
So McGill making big money moves, getting back into the top 10 here in the 25 car. Love that William Byron 2025 lookalike. You can tell he's got a certain I guess, affinity to certain paint schemes and certain drivers with that William Byron paint scheme that I don't know who replicated it for him, but Noah Sweet, Lefty Designs, originally painted that William Byron paint scheme for 2025, and man, does it look good. I love it.
I love it as well. I mean, it's just awesome. I actually have, I know it's William Byron's, but I have the original inspiration, the Jeff Gordon. I've got a DuPont 6 sweatshirt. It's so awesome. Yeah, I think have you seen it before?
The sweatshirt I have not.
Oh, I'll have to show you. You'd love it. I think a lot of people on here would love it, but I know that they also love this paint scheme.
Yeah, I think it's a fan favorite for sure. I know there were some that were critical, but I think everybody is very happy with this return to flames for the Exalta Chevrolet next year in 2025. Now that was our best battle on the racetrack. Joseph Tucker now working on Sean Bounty becomes the new best battle on the track. And look at these two Toyota Camrys, fender to fender there through 17 and 18. Tucker now with the advantage moving forward anyways, but it's the inside line for Bounty through turn 19. And one car to the pit lane. Is that for position? Was that Moultrie? It is Moultrie. This
Michael
feels
Moultrie.
a little bit early.
A little bit early, but I mean, maybe he's trying to stretch fuel. I don't know. It feels a little early to me as well. But hey, I think we're about 22 laps to go. So I think now, or is it 22, 18? We're close. We're getting closer to being able to make it. But I think you're right.
20,
it's a little early.
I think 23 laps to go that time across the stripe, coming to 22.
Math. big old math guy.
So, fuel and go for Moultrie. He keeps the tires on the race car. He's going to blend into the field in 13th. 13th spot. Right behind
13th.
Christopher Tate.
Daniel Wiles will be right behind him, with a little bit more than a second back.
Up the road, Brasfield working on Millet.
Brasfield has been within a second for so long, almost since the 4th lap. So for almost 8 laps, he has been within a second. Most of the time he's been within 7/10, but now he's moved it up to 4/10. Meanwhile, I know we haven't talked about it, but Vicente Salas is 18 seconds ahead of second place.
Yeah, he is properly checked out.
He's moving. That's just, I mean, that is so impressive. I mean, obviously we know why. We know his pedigree, but I mean, goodness, that is impressive.
So it was a scheduled stop for Moultrie, we're being told in the YouTube chat, which is interesting that he's coming in that early scheduled.
Really?
I really thought this would be a straight up one pit stop in the middle of the race kind of day.
I thought so. I mean, he didn't take tires.
Yeah. I wonder if that's going to be his one stop or if he's two stopping this thing.
No, I just don't. I agree with you. I don't know why you two stop. I mean, when you can pit right in the middle if you're, I mean, because you can make it on tires. I mean, there's no doubt you can go 34 laps here on one set. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, yeah, so the iRacing situation, as far as the tires go, it's a little bit different from real life. The tires can last a long time. It's a really hard compound, and they oftentimes get better as the run goes on, even for 34 laps or so. So they can do this set of laps pretty easily, even though it might not be the most perfectly realistic thing in the world, in my opinion, but they can run these laps just fine on this set. They might take one in some cases, some drivers just wanting that extra bit of grip or cooler tires for the racetrack. I'm not really sure, but they might take one set, but definitely nothing like two sets or anything. So there's plenty of sets in the pit lane for these guys. They could have done one change set and been fine.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's no reason to get two sets of tires. If you're going to pit to get tires, I mean, only one set. But again, like I think the one stop would have been perfect. So I don't know
Yeah.
if Moultrie's going to try to save and stretch it, or if he's trying to come in twice.
Well, Moultrie has passed Sean Boundy. You can see here Daniel Wiles at the start-finish line was tracking to Moultrie. So Moultrie is on the move. He's going to be back in the top 10 here soon. He's only got about 2 seconds up to Edward Jurgen. There you see Jurgen in the distance down to turn 11 from Moultrie's onboard. So he's got a top 10 day, I think, on the way for sure, no matter, even if he pits twice and the rest of the field pits once. He's got a top 10 day on the way.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we just saw him in that spin and all that, but Moultrie, I mean, that's the thing about road courses, kind of the longer they are, the more spread out the field can get. So unless you have some grand mistake, there's really only certain positions you can really fall to depending on where you are with how spread out the field is.
You know what I wonder as well is if the fuel burn has been updated, because when we went to COTA back in March for the Icon Cup Series, yes, it was 60% fuel, which is only 5% less than these guys have this evening. But I wonder if there's been an update between then and now where the fuel burn has been diminished a little bit and these guys can go a little bit longer on a tank. The numbers, so we went to Las Vegas to just have a little bit of conversation on this. We went to Las Vegas for Icon this past weekend, and the numbers lined up from March. But maybe on a road course, the engine mapping is a little bit different. That's the only thing I can think, because to run 22 laps on the next tank, that just seems a little aggressive.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. See, whoa, Moultrie get a little loose there on the exit of 20.
Hangs on to it, though, gets the power down and pulls more and more away from Sean Boundy. As Brasfield is on Zach Millett for the race lead. Salas pitted that lap.
Well, for the not the net race lead, but currently the quote-unquote lead, Salas will fall down to third. So now Zach Millett, your new leader, Ian Brasfield still behind within 3 and 2 tenths now. He is so close. I mean, he is playing the slow game.
You know, if Salas is doing this, I think that's the strategy. If Vicente is coming in, I think that's the way to go. So something is different maybe with the fuel burn, or maybe Moultrie is going to stretch a little bit, and 20 laps is the distance you can go, because clearly if Vicente is doing it, I think he knows what he's doing at this point in time. So Moultrie must be on a scheduled strategy. Well, we've been told he's on a scheduled strategy. It's just interesting. It's interesting how the number has varied, because the number was 14 to 16 on a 60% tank back in March. And I have no doubt that these guys have figured this one out and have it planned to be 22 laps or so. It's just interesting to me how the number has changed.
Oh, I mean, I agree with you as well. Zach Millett and Ian Brasfield are both in the pits. Vicente Salas will now retain the lead.
There's Millett, there's Brasfield. You see Brian Rose in the pit lane. Brandon Frohnapple pitted that time, and more come in. It looks like, is that Jared Wishon coming down, or is that... No, that's Adam Benefield coming in. Spencer Ray coming in. Nathan Paris. So pit lane is active.
Oh, it is active. It's I've got to say, with all these drivers pitting, obviously they've planned out these strategies. They know their fuel burn, so this is the lap to be, and I guess iRacing has updated their fuel model, because it looks like they can 100% make it for 20 laps.
Joseph Tucker's in. I see Jared Wishon is in. Looks like Colin Terrell back there is in. Edward Jurgen comes around turn 20 in the pit lane. So a very active pit lane here on lap 15, nearing halfway, so nothing too crazy, as there's Vicente Salas behind Gary Bowman in the 08, who's just had a problem.
08's having a problem there. Not sure what it was. Oh,
I saw skid marks, smoke, and a lot of left side damage.
You know what I just saw? 83, Adam Benefield. Too many boxes in pit lane.
Oh, man.
Huge penalty for a guy running in the top 5.
There you see Adam Benefield.
He's going to have to come back down and make a pass through. That is a huge hit to today. I mean, time on pit road is just over 35 seconds. So he's going to fall outside the top 10 for sure. But thinking about that now, like we said with Moultrie, I mean, Moultrie is going to be able to make it back into the top 10. So I'm looking at the times right now. It looks like he'll fall. Actually, Moultrie is 41 seconds. He might fall right in front of Moultrie. So might not be as terrible as I'm thinking.
Of course, Moultrie had that spin to fall further back. Moultrie was right behind Benefield earlier. Here you have Paris and Ray. Paris moving back past Ray. Ray will drop to 7th for now, but should retake the 6th spot here once Benefield serves his penalty. And Holden McGill should pit, which should put Spencer Ray back into 5th. Here comes Holden McGill now. Oh, be careful.
Oh, wow.
Really difficult pit lane to enter.
I thought he was going to get into the tires there.
It's a really tough pit lane to enter here at Coda. You see Benefield serving his penalty in the background. This will be a long, long trip down the pit lane for him.
Yeah, gotta be frustrated in the race seat right there. Running top 5, definitely could have finished top 5 as well. So really frustrating there as we're going to see now where he comes out after this penalty.
He's going to hold on to 6th, and he's going to be 5 seconds up the road from Moultrie. So Moultrie wasn't a bad call for where he'd merged, but Moultrie's still a little ways back.
Yeah, really not as bad as I thought. I'm not listening to my own self about talking about how spread out this field can get.
Well, Sean merges right back with Holden McGill, so that battle stays intact. Tucker and Wiles are close. Down the order, we've got, a pit stop here for the 6 car. If that's pitting out of a battle with Tristan Bruce. Tristan Bruce pitted 4 laps ago. But Tristan Bruce is a very fun situation for me. This Saturday, I'll be Orange County Speedway, and I'll be talking on the mic and working the broadcast box with Pit Row TV. And Tristan Bruce will be in the field for the Carolina Crate Modifieds in a 602 Modified. So I'll be calling this guy's name twice this week, it sounds like, as long as everything holds. Very cool to know that Tristan Bruce is going to be going for it in a Modified this week, and Noah Rainwater in this race is on his crew. They were last out at Carteret. They had a good run. I think they might have gone to victory lane. So that's always good stuff for the Tristan Bruce crew and Trip Bruce and everybody over there associated with that group. It's good to know Tristan's going to be back behind the wheel of a car this week. Again, Orange County Speedway in Rougemont, North Carolina. If you're in the area, I highly recommend checking it out. It's going to be a little bit chilly, admittedly. It is that time of year. But if you can stand the little bit of chilly and get out to Orange County Speedway, it's going to be well worth it. They've got a fantastic setup there. Concessions are real nice, and refreshment stand, rather. Real nice there at Orange County Speedway. I love everything they have going on, so it should be a lot of fun. Again, Tristan Bruce, a name to remember as so many drivers come through the ranks of the Carolina Pro Lates and Carolina Crate Modifieds, such as Tristan McKee. Working his way up on the short track side. A lot of names come through that series and end up going on to bigger and better things. Tristan Bruce could be one of them.
Well, I really wish I could join you this weekend because it sounds like a whole heck of a lot of fun. I wish I was going to.
Well, hey, you've got your own big announcing gig on Saturday.
Yeah, I do. I forgot about that, honestly, for a second. You got me excited about racing. Look, I'll commentate football, volleyball, any of it all day long for fun and to help the career. But, man, racing is what I want to do forever.
Well, fair enough. We do have some battles going on in the lap down crew. Martinek and Matta here are a lap down. And there's Matt Cherry, very damaged today. He's down in the 38th spot, 2 laps down. But Matta is chasing Martinek up the road there in turn 15. You see at the apex. This is one of the closest battles on the racetrack. The next closest is Holden McGill and Daniel Wiles that will flip to now. On board here with McGill.
Well, and looking along with Holden McGill, trying to attack that number 3 there, trying to gain position. I love that 3 car for SimRap Market. It is a cool design here for the month of October. And there we go. Holden McGill runs up into the top 10 yet again.
So Wiles gets passed up. He'll fall back now to the 11th spot. But it might not be over. Wiles has a run here for turn 12, maybe no, sits back and will let McGill have the spot. I think realizing that's an important part of the battle here in one of these races, realizing when somebody has caught you, because they didn't catch you for no reason, right? They ran you down in this case of Holden McGill. It's a lot better for both of you to accept that car might be faster and hold on for a corner, let them get a little bit of an advantage, and then go back to your normal racing line. It's a lot better to just realize sometimes that somebody might be faster.
Yeah, at these road courses, one of the reasons that we get so spread out is because, I mean, some drivers just understand certain things about these road courses better. You know, some drivers are just really good on ovals and just can't quite figure out road courses. Others around the midfield, they're great. They're good on ovals, but they can run a road course. Then you'll see your top 10 guys really understand how to find every 10 out of a road course. It's just so interesting. There's so much time you can lose and so much time you can gain throughout each of these corners, and especially in a place like this at COTA with more corners, more time to gain, more time to lose.
I would say we've got about 15 or so that really have this place seemingly figured out and are all kind of the top bunch, and then everybody else, I think, just try to swat flies and get on through it. Just an observation.
I've never heard that saying before.
Really?
No.
Yeah, when you're moving the wheel back and forth, trying to just hang on, yeah, that's swatting flies.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. Hands are all over the place, just try to hang on to the wheel, you know? Yeah, that's swatting flies.
I love that.
We've seen a few guys have to do that so far tonight, and never what you want to do, but yeah. Paris has been one of them, actually. Yeah, swatting those flies out of the inside of the car, trying to hang on mostly when he gets back to throttle, but Holden McGill here is on the quick move, and oh, there's swatting flies for Daniel Wiles. That was real sideways at a turn 11 for a second. Jared Rashawn goes by, but Holden McGill has got a run here on Joseph Tucker.
Here on Joseph Tucker, look at this. Holden McGill trying to work back through this field.
Daytona winner.
Daytona winner. He's been good up in the points here. He's up in the top 10, like we just said, after he was able to pass Daniel Wiles. Now trying to work here on Joseph Tucker in that chrome purple 39.
It's lap 19 of 34. These laps have clicked off in a hurry. We're already getting close to 15 to go. Next time around will be 15 to go, I believe. Yeah, with 19 complete. Yeah, 15.
Correctly? I think so.
Oh, McGill! Oh, no! Big spin out of the 25 car. He's going to go all the way down to the gravel on the inside of turn 19 here, the approach to turn 19 anyway, and that's going to lose him a couple of spots. He's going to fall back behind Daniel Wiles and Jared Rashawn. And next behind him will be Noah Rainwater in the 05 car for the Luke's Playhouse Chevrolet Camaro.
Man, he was just trying to gain. He was trying to push it there through 18, got up on the curb, and that paint is usually in this dry. Usually pretty grippy, but he got right on the edge of the paint and the binder, and there wasn't enough grip there to hold him.
So a quick spin for him. He gets righted relatively quickly, and oh, problems. Daniel Wiles, not problems. Daniel Wiles into the pit lane. I saw two cars hit 0 miles per hour at once and got a little concerned, but Wiles comes back in, and this is what I was a little concerned about. Some drivers pitting so early they'd have to come in again. Wiles, that's his second stop, along with Kevin West, who just came in.
Yeah, not many people. Most of our field has stopped here. I think Wiles is he's the third person to pit multiple, or fourth. I'm keep counting.
May I present an alternative idea to what we were thinking?
Let's hear it.
We thought the fuel burn had been recalculated between March and now to be longer.
Okay.
Maybe it was recalculated to be shorter. Maybe they were all making their first stop earlier, and this is the beginning of the second round of stops.
Oh, because now they.
Because I haven't seen a single soul saving gas.
No, I don't think so either. Maybe we're gonna have to see for for Wiles, I mean, what you said, you said 60% was around 15 laps. So if we're at 65, if the math holds up. I'm talking a lot about math tonight.
Road courses always make that happen. I don't know what it is. I've got some friends over at Lucky Motorsports Solutions in Statesville, North Carolina, and every once in a while I go to the racetrack with them, and they run amateur road racing series like Lucky Dog Racing League from the West Coast, or the Champ Car Endurance Series on the East Coast. And anytime either one has any races around North Carolina, they go and make sure to run. They usually take a 1999 Porsche Cayman Boxster or a 91 Miata or a 90s Honda Civic. Those are the three cars of choice usually, as Matta gets lapped here by Millett and Brasfield. And over at Lucky Motorsports Solutions, those guys, they go to racetracks like Carolina Motorsports Park, Virginia International Raceway, other tracks like that, Atlanta Motorsports Park, Barber Motorsports Park, racetracks across the South. And the amounts of math those poor guys have to do to calculate exactly when they need to pit and how long they can go on fuel and everything else, just setting the car up, for example, the amounts of math they have to do, oh my gosh, it is. I'm glad I'm their media guy, and that's about it. The only math I have to figure out is how many gigabytes I've got on the SD card.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Hey, and that's the best one. That's the easiest job, the most, well, I'll say easiest, but compared to the math, yeah. But man, Ian Brasfield now looking along with him right here, finally caught up to Zach Millett. I think, I could be wrong about this, but Zach Millett, I know when they pitted, Ian Brasfield came out 5 seconds behind Millett. And I believe that he took 4. I'm not sure if Millett took 2 or 0, but Brasfield has now caught up and trying to take this back.
Nearing 10 laps to go. That was the completion of lap 20, so 14 to go now. Michael Matta, it seems, might be slipping down the order. He just lost a spot to Casey Knighton. Richard Lanning now slow.
Matta was one of our early pitters.
Okay, so we've gotten confirmation here. 15 laps of fuel. Okay. So that is so interesting.
Did
5%.
Did Brandon hit us with that one?
No, that was Landon Wood giving us some information finally out on the YouTube chat. We appreciate that, Landon. 15 laps of fuel. We didn't get a fuel number prior to this race. Everybody was kind of trying to figure that out, I think, in the practice session, so we didn't get one in advance. 15 laps of fuel. That's so interesting. 65% I would have thought would have been a little bit extra, but they did have a little bit of time on the pace lap to burn a little bit of fuel, so that makes sense now.
Man, look at Brasfield. He is just later on the brakes in all of these heavy braking zones more than Zach Millett. It's really impressive. One of the ways that he is gaining on Millett here, man, it reminds me of Sam Mayer on Parker Kligerman at the Roval.
Brasfield closes in big time into the braking zone of turn 12. Millett just giving up a little bit of time there. I think Brasfield is second best here today, but it's a matter of getting to and by that 31 car. Getting to somebody is one thing, getting by them is another.
We'll try to do it here into the 14 and 15 section. He'll take a little bit of a shallower line, trying to get a little bit more speed. Millett will still have it, still just 3/10 back now instead of 4. He's slowly moving in, Andrew.
Slowly closing here, closing there, just trying to pull up on that 31 car and get by him for the second spot.
Oh, a little bit sideways. Oh, my goodness.
And for these guys, where Vicente doesn't run every week, this is going to feel like a win for whoever gets second place.
I know. Vicente is 39 seconds ahead. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, we're kind of letting Vicente do his thing today. We're just letting him go off to the races. But this was going to be a simple 1 pit stop race. It's become a 2 pit stop race. And for these two, it's a battle to be in front before the pit stop.
A battle to be in front. One of them, I wonder right now, is Brasfield thinking about the undercut, or is he just going to try to do it straight on raw speed?
Oh, getting the inside curbing there, that anti-cut the Verstoppers. That's a nickname from Emerson Arden, one of our older broadcasters. But
oh yeah,
yeah, that's Verstoppers. Yeah, I think you can kind of make the connection there. Zach Millett to the inside of one lapped car. I believe that's the 6th. It is. Mark Martinek deep into turn 11.
Martinek. I love that.
Matthew Taylor goes by as well. Or gets passed, rather. And yeah, that's the best name in the field. Mark Martinek.
It's awesome. It's so awesome. I mean, and so cool that he likes racing. I mean, like, that is really rare to see Spencer Ray, I believe, the 05 of Noah Rainwater here into the pits.
Rainwater comes in. He's going to take some tires, it looks like. That's interesting. We will see some tires taken, and I wouldn't be surprised. This is a bit of a longer race. 34 laps doesn't feel like very long to us. We're used to 200 laps and whatnot, but 34 laps here is a decent while, so I'm not terribly surprised to see at least one set of tires go on some of these race cars.
Well, we saw that Millett took, again, I don't know if it was 2 or 0, but I know that Brassfield took 4, and he was 5 seconds back, and he's been able to gain all of those 5 seconds on this last stint after the pit stop. So tires are definitely worth it. You just have to know how to use them.
But when you know you can defend, in Zach Millett's case, do you maybe stay on this set of tires? You know they're going to hold up. At least they should hold up, I would imagine, for the next 10 laps or so. They might be a little more slidey, but if you know you can defend, do you stay on that set to get that advantage again?
If you know you can defend, absolutely. I think so. I mean, you take that advantage as you get it, but I don't know how many drivers in here can defend like Millett is on Ian Brassfield here. So if you know you can defend like Millett is here, absolutely. I'd stay on what you got, keep going with what you got. But if you can't, try to switch it up.
By the way, Holden McGill pitted this last lap, so he is back on the racetrack now with more fuel in 12th spot. Another pit stopper would be Kevin West. He's back on the racetrack here after a couple of laps of racing and is right behind Tristan Bruce. So that is for the 15th spot, but Bruce will have to come back in. And Vicente Salas making his pit stop. He's back on the racetrack, actually. This is his out lap. So he is back out there with some damage, it looks like.
A little bit of damage. I wonder if that was from, I wonder if he was a little hot on the brakes getting into pit lane.
My brain is in the same spot. Let's go back on the replay.
That's the only place I would feel that maybe he could make a mistake or get into the wall. I mean, most of the walls are really far away. There's a lot of grass. It looks like it.
We'll take one more look. That wasn't a very good look. Let's see. So it's going to be pit entry, and this could impact the race. I don't think it's going to do much, but it could.
It could, but he gained so much time that he had a pit stop gap on second place. I've never seen that anywhere else than Formula One.
Oh my gosh.
That
he got
a
it good.
Hit. That was a pretty tough hit there. It looks like, again, I'm just judging off of what I can see here. It looks like the toe of that right front, it looks to be straight.
It's knocked out. You can see here. So he's going to battle out the rest of the race. He's apt to make a mistake. I don't know that he's going to. He's an eNASCAR iRacing Coca-Cola Series driver for a reason. Say that 5 times fast. But he's more likely to make a mistake with that steering being knocked out of alignment just that little bit than otherwise. And if I were him personally, I might have taken some damage repairs, but he also sees how much optional there would have been. He might not have felt like it was going to make enough of a difference.
Yeah, no, I mean, with like we talk about, I'm pretty positive he can handle it. You know, I didn't get to see the wheel shot, so I'm glad I got to see that now. It's only, I mean, obviously damage is damage, but it's only just so much that I feel like he can handle it. Just back off by a second, or not a second, maybe half a tenth. Whoa, oh my gosh, I'm jumping all around. Half a second, and he'll be fine.
I'll see it here. Out of turn 11, you can see just how kicked off to the left side that wheel is.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of damage there for Vicente Salas, but he is still clear of the field by some 13 seconds as Zach Millett stays on the racetrack. Ian Brasfield has now pitted. It is back on the racetrack. Pit timer tells us a 4-tire stop there for Brasfield.
Well, I'm surprised. That surprises me because he took 4 last time as well.
And that pulls him behind Nathan Paris, but of course Paris has got to pit again. Adam Benefield pitted a lap ago and sits now in the 5th spot. Spencer Ray pitted this last lap through and drops behind Benefield by some 5 seconds. So Benefield's penalty is not going to hurt him hardly at all.
No, not, and I'm not surprised by that, but earlier, I mean, that's really impressive by Benefield. I mean, we didn't see him fall too heavily, but to hold it and get back to the top 5 is really impressive here. Also really impressive is Jared Wisham. I think he's going to pit, but he's going to end up here. I think he's going to end up in the top 10. So he's been fighting real hard today. He's up 10 spots right now.
We're on board with Jared Wishon, and well, he's working on Spencer Ray. I'm looking over timing and scoring, scanning for what we can find, and this is about the closest battle on the racetrack, surprisingly, between these two Ford Mustang dark horses, and we're inside now of 10 laps to go. The next closest battle is going to be Dylan Cardenas and Holden McGill for the 10th spot. Here's McGill. Cardenas is yet to pit.
McGill.
One car goes straight. That's Brandon Fronapple at turn 12. He locked up big time.
Oh, yeah. Haven't been able to pit yet. I think Fronapple, I think he's a lap down.
Yes. 1 lap down in 29th.
Fronapple not having the day he has wanted. Had a great showing at Daytona, and then he was doing pretty well at Bristol until he was caught up in an incident.
He was partially the show at Bristol, up on his side.
And oh yeah, how could we forget?
Well, here's Zach Millett, the next domino to fall in the pit lane strategy. He has not pitted a second time just yet. He's still on the racetrack from his first stop 10 laps ago. And the pit window has officially been kicked wide open now. We're just kind of waiting to see when he pits and where he ends up around, lining up around Ian Brasfield. Here you see the left rear locking up as he misses turn 12 by just a little bit.
Those tires are asking to be taken off.
But he can gain 3 seconds or so, maybe even 4, by just taking fuel.
Yeah, you're right, but he is losing a good amount of time here. I'm looking right now at Ian Brasfield, who has pitted again. He took 4 fresh ones again. He's already gained 4 seconds back on Zach Millett in the past 2 laps.
That's a big number.
I think with fresher tires again and Zach Millett having old ones here, he has to take fresh tires, or else I think Ian Brasfield will be too fast for Millett to be able to defend.
Well, Millett stays out as somebody else pits. Nathan Paris this time. We'll see if Paris pits this time around. One car smoked some tires there at turn 19. And the Panto Racing Club Chevrolet stays on the racetrack. So Paris will continue on. Gary Bowman in the background has got something going on as Jeremy Brown pits in the 07 car.
Gary Bowman, we saw him earlier, have a big incident. He went for a little spin. Oh, then we got a three-car pileup here. Oh, 3 wide. I know it's a lap car of the 9, but wow, 3 wide for a second.
Boundy and Tucker side by side. Boundy in the 34, Joseph Tucker in the 39 car, racing for the 10th spot right now. They have been around each other a lot today, these two Toyota Camrys, and look at how close they get there through turn 14.
That is really, I mean, they are door to door right now. 39 and the 34 of Sean Boundy.
Pass made.
There we go.
Here we go. Crossover maybe. Boundy back to the inside of Tucker. Contact.
Oh my goodness. Boundy almost gets sideways. Still heavy on the brakes.
Contact between these two there between 18 and 19. Down to turn 20 behind the pit building. And Boundy's going to try and get back to power and get a run for turn 1.
I mean, he is right on his bumper right now. He really close, trying to get back in this position. Will he dive it down into turn 1? Will he send it? He's looking for it.
He sends it up the inside of Joseph Tucker. Bounty gets right back there to Apex and moves the 39 up the racetrack a little bit, but it's not going to stick. He's going to have to try and fight back now through turn 2 in the S's. Oh, but Tucker a hold up on the inside of the turn.
They're going to try to go side by side here through the S's. That usually doesn't work. They're going to have to be conservative and give each other room.
Wow.
It's going to be real slow. Tucker might prevail here on the inside, but Bounty is not giving up.
Tucker had to hold up. Bounty now on the inside for the next corner and lays back. He's going to get back single file now. He knows they're giving up too much time running side by side like that. Get back in single file, wait for another passing opportunity. It'll be turn 11.
It'll be turn 11, but I don't think it'll be close enough to make the lunge. Maybe into turn 12. He'll try to gain some time down here. He will. Whoa, big one!
What a send!
He's gonna take it.
What a send from another zip code, and he gets back alongside the 39 car. That's drafting territory. We talked about it earlier, Scott. He's going to have the draft if he just gets back in line.
I don't think he's going to get back in line. He is looking, he's making it known to Tucker that he's going to send it here into turn 12 as well. He's going to make the pass here. He's ready for it. Late on the brakes, side by side. It's not going to be enough.
Oh, Tucker goes wide. That's what he
there
needed.
He goes. He knew it.
You don't always have to make the move. Just make the move happen as, oh my gosh, they're side by side again.
Man, the 39 of Tucker took it all the way out wide, gained extra momentum, and was able to carry that momentum into turn 13.
What a battle between these two. And they are on their own. They've got 8 seconds ahead, 7 seconds behind. They're on their own right now.
Oh, they are, and man, Bounty is really trying to give it to Tucker, but Tucker did not give up there. He overshot turn 12, used all that extra pavement to be able to gain that momentum back. But I don't think Bounty is done here, Andrew.
Zach Millett, by the way, is still on the racetrack, so we're still waiting for him to pit again and line up around Ian Brasfield. So you're not missing anything with that battle for second and third. You're just getting a really good battle for the 10 spot. And Bounty back up the inside of turn 1 again.
He's back at it
that's
again.
contact. The 39 slides.
Man, the 39 was trying to pinch him down on the inside. Bounty got into him, sent him a little sideways. He checked up, though, so that the 39 could get straightened out. Now side by side yet again. Bounty backs off so they don't go side by side through there yet again. But he is on the bumper of Tucker.
Tucker's line through turn 2 is just way slower than Bounty, so Bounty catches right back up every time. He can keep doing that in turn 1 if that's going to be how Tucker continues to take turn 2.
I think Bounty's going to get it. I mean, he is the faster car of these two, but Tucker, he's put on a great defense, but I don't know if it'll hold up like Millett has on Brasfield.
Well, Tucker made the pass initially to get by the 34 car. So Tucker got here, has made the pass, and what a send again out of Bounty. He's got him clear by the apex. That was beautiful. He parked it on the apex.
He used the lap car of Michael Madden to slide. It was almost like he was trying to parallel park.
That was incredible. Bounty now has the spot over Joseph Tucker for 10th. What a battle between these two Toyotas.
He parked it right on the nose of Joseph Tucker so that he couldn't make the crossover.
Oh, big hit!
Oh, Tucker just... Wow.
Bounty just gets cleaned out by Joseph Tucker. They came to a slower stop there at the turn 12 apex, I believe, for that slower car of Michael Matta. And Bounty just gets hit out of nowhere. That was a big, big piece of contact.
Yeah, it looks like the 39 was trying to get late on the brakes, and he was a little too late there on the inside of Bounty and had nowhere to go.
He was trying to roll the corner for what it's worth, but here we go. Zach Millett should be in here soon. I'd imagine this time or the next time, unless he's trying to save fuel. We can pull up the telemetry graphic. He's downshifting second, first. It looks normal. I can't imagine that he'd save enough fuel to go to the end. I mean, he pitted 13 laps ago. Well, I don't think so. But 13 laps ago puts him running out initially at lap 15 complete of the run would be lap 30, so 4 laps. I mean, that's still a long ways to try and save. That's 12 miles.
Yeah, I don't know. I I don't think he's saving. I mean, he'd have to go 19 laps. And if what our man in the chat said is correct with 15, maybe 16, I don't think you can save 3 laps here at COTA.
No, here he goes. Here he goes. He's coming in.
There we go. I was going to say, there's no way.
Oh, gets the wall, though. That's going to be important to note.
A little bit of contact there. No damage on iRacing's side, so probably not enough of a hit to affect him.
Now we wait Nathan Paris coming in. Paris is going to keep going. So Millett's going to come into the box and surrender second place for now. Let's see, does he take tires? No. No tires. Fuel, and it's a short stop. That's what I was waiting for. That is beautiful stuff for Millett. So he might have saved a little bit. Takes just enough to go to the end. No tires for the 31 car. He's going to have a ton of time back to Brasfield.
We're going to see where
5 seconds or so.
5 seconds or so, but let's remember, Brasfield, the last time he pitted was on fresh tires and Millett wasn't. He made up all those 5 seconds, but like you said, Andrew, never made the pass.
Never made the pass and has got to do it now within the next 5 laps or so of racing. He doesn't have a whole lot of time to get it done.
Not a lot of time, and he's got to take some of that time to catch back up.
Well, there's another battle happening. Daniel Wiles trying to catch up to Sean Boundy. He has made the pass on Boundy. The Boundy slips down to the 12th position. Man, Kevin West would be next up, and Kevin West is the final car on the lead lap. Noah Rainwater is the first car 1 lap down. And there's Vicente Salas up the road in the 79 car.
It shows you how impressive. The 14th car is a lap down. I mean, that we really only see that sometimes at 1.5 and oval courses, but to be a lap down in 14th position at the longest road course shows you how good Vicente Salas is.
He's got 39 seconds back to Nathan Paris. It'll be 45 seconds back to Zach Millett. 49, almost 50 seconds back to Ian Brasfield. A minute back to Adam Benefiel, and Benefiel is a solid driver in his own right. So for Benefiel to be that far back after 30 laps of racing, not even 30 laps of racing, is pretty incredible. You see Vicente Salas has led all but 1 lap of this race, and that 1 lap was during pit stops.
Yeah, I mean, and the second round, like I said earlier, he had gained enough time on second position that he could pit and still be in the lead.
Nathan Paris is finally going to come on into the pit lane. And that is the final domino to fall. He's the final car that needed to pit.
Final out of the top 10. I think Edward Durgan he's still only at 1 pit stop, along with Ryan Dingler. But our final domino of our contenders up here within the top 10.
Jurgen pitted a lap ago. Dingler 3 laps ago.
Well, there we go. My sheet just hasn't updated, and you're right. I should just listen.
Oh, you're fine. But 5 laps to go for Nathan Paris. Finally comes in. He's going to sink back to 4th spot. Man, it's a shame. I would love to talk to him and learn more about Panto Racing Club and whatnot, what they have going on. It's been so interesting to watch him be so good this season, and it just seems like his teammates are just missing that next step, right? They're making the field, which is a big first step, but they're missing that next step. They just need to get up just one more spot up, one more step up there, and I think they'll be with him. Colin Terrell and the 4 car, I got to think about it, Cody Ellis. But battle on your screen will be Moultrie and McGill. Moultrie in the 29 car is 7th. McGill in the 25 is 8th. We'll go on board with McGill.
Obviously, McGill, I mean, he's been in 2 incidents already, and he's in 8th position, so very impressive there. But again, one of our race winners trying to gain some valuable points here in the top 10.
You know, I gotta wonder how much this field is going to change in post. How many incidents are going to receive penalties from guys that just continued on? As here's a move, big time move from McGill to the inside of Moultrie at turn 11.
sending it down in there in 11, but Moultrie will have the momentum out of the corner, down the straightaway. McGill will have to pull into the draft. Will he pull out a line again to try it into 12?
Looks to the inside, has his nose in the mirror of that 29 car, but lays back. You see the 29 covered up a little bit and ease up for the apex. So that was very smart racing out of both drivers, but a little bit of a shake there from the 29 between 12 and 13. Opens the door to the inside for McGill, but he's going to have the outside at turn 15, that slower corner coming up. Christian light it there on the left side.
He'll do it again there into 14.
That was just enough to hold Moultrie back.
That was just enough for McGill to be able to get by. Those two small mistakes allowed McGill to slide on through 18 here. This is where he had an incident earlier where he spun out, but he's learned from that now, heading into 19.
A big thank you as the laps wind down here to SimWrapMarket.com, Apex Sim Racing, IMB Racewear, Moser Racing, RS Button Boxes, Team Conti Sim Performance, Track Bar Media, The Butt Kicker, Extreme Graphics, and Cyber Edge Hosting. There are so many great resources, so many great companies listed on the left side of your screen that can help you out in your sim racing endeavors. Certainly SimWrapMarket.com with their base paint schemes, Apex Sim Racing, IMB Racewear, Moser Racing, RS Button Boxes with their different bits of merchandise that you can grab. And I say merchandise. What would be the proper term? Well, apparel in the case of IMB Racewear, for sure.
Yeah.
But the others... Products, there you go. That's a good word for it. Fantastic stuff that they've got going on, each and every one of them. Team Conti Sim Performance supplies the setups, which have been fantastic so far to get this season started, and I expect nothing less. They're going to be fantastic the rest of the season. Team Conti Sim Performance putting out those setups has been a fantastic asset. Track Bar Media, a fantastic asset as well. As you see, Martinek go way wide at 11. McGill follows him. And then the Butt Kicker, Extreme Graphics, and Cyber Edge Hosting as well. Very pivotal partners, very important partners with this No Limit Racing Sim Rap Market Series. We're watching the best battle on the racetrack. Holden McGill and Michael Moultrie for the 7th spot. This is the closest battle, the only battle within 1 second. And Moultrie lost the spot here a lap ago.
He did. He was a little bit too hard on the gas pedal, spun the rears a few times, and that allowed Holden McGill to pass by right through there in the stadium section. But now he'll try to get back. He's gained a little bit of time. I wonder who's faster here.
I think McGill is just a bit faster. He caught up to the 29 car. He's gotten by the 29 car now. I think he's just a bit faster, but tires are also wearing out, and at some point I think they're going to plateau and be relatively similar. I think we're seeing that point now with 3 laps to go. This next time around, they'll take 3 here. The next time by it'll be 2. Problems, Moultrie.
Oh, he's slow.
I think he was out of gear for a second. And McGill just took off.
He was out of gear for a long time if that was the case. I was actually looking at his dash. I don't know if he was. I swore I was looking at it, but the minute that he would have been out of gear, I looked away.
I don't know what else it would have been. I mean, it's a sequential gearbox. You shouldn't be out of gear unless he's using an H pattern.
No.
Which I don't think you
do go to
can.
first down for that corner. So he might have hit it one extra time and gone over to neutral.
The car doesn't let you do that. Oh, he got a slowdown penalty.
Oh.
Yeah, the sequential gearbox. The sequential gearbox does not let you go straight to neutral like that until you're at a stop. So we got a slowdown penalty. Wow.
Interesting.
Well, Daniel Wiles and Sean Bounty are now a lap down, but they are the next closest battle on the racetrack. Wiles here in the 3 car. Bounty in the 34. Bounty's been on the screen a lot today. Boy, has he.
He's really been, I mean, he has been moving around all the time. He's been hit. He's been sending it into 1, 11, and 12. So he's been all over the boards today, but he's in the top 10. Oh, he's almost. He's in 11, so he's trying to get in the top 10. I don't think he's going to be able to do it after that incident with Tucker.
And Tucker is the final car in the top 10, final car on the lead lap. Trying to hang on to that for the next lap and a half. Vicente Salas is there, down the back straightaway towards turn 12. And let's see, Joseph Tucker is up the road just a little ways. I mean, he could absolutely go a lap down. Can you imagine if we've got less than 10 cars on the lead lap here by virtue of Vicente Salas out to a 49-second race lead?
I mean, I just cannot. I can believe it because we know who he is, but I mean, it's still just baffling to see such a huge lead.
And this begs the question, do we see him more often now? Now that he's made his return to racing here in the No Limit Racing Simrat Market Series, do we see him a bit more often?
I mean, eNASCAR, their season is done right now, so we very well could.
Well, now you have the Contender Series to make it into the Pro Series and go racing for the eNASCAR iRacing Coca-Cola Series in 2025. I don't recall, I don't know off the top of my head if he's in the Contender Series trying to contend to hang on to his spot or if he's going to hang on to it already, but there's the white flag brought to you by Whiplash Simcams. And Vicente Salas has got just 3.4, now about 3 miles to go. We'll go on board.
Go on board, running through the S's here. Just we talked about it. This part of the track is just so technical. It's so easy to slip up and make a mistake. Run wide here, coming up into 6 and 7. Such an awesome camera here to get to watch Vicente Salas.
I'll do you one better here. Let's go inside the helmet. You can watch he's still nursing that right side damage after pitting and getting the pit attenuator. Just incredible what he's been able to do in this race.
Yeah, even with that damage, he's still been able to gain time. We saw after he pitted, he was 38 seconds and he was able to gain 10. So, I mean, I can't say it enough how impressive this is.
Well, 34 laps have wound down quickly. Vicente Salas into the stadium section for the final time today. Works here on Joseph Tucker to put that man one lap down in the 10th spot. We'll see if he can do it. I think he will. I mean, he's on the back bumper of the 39 car now. And gives a shot there to Joseph Tucker. He wants to go by and claim one more victim to put him one lap behind. We'll see if he holds back in these last couple of corners. 17, 18, coming up to turn 19. The Micro Center Toyota Camry for Tony Kanaan Esports rounds the last two corners here at Circuit of the Americas, making his first start this season in the Simrat Market Series. Vicente Salas will go to victory lane in style here. A slide across the start-finish line. Checkered flag for car 79.
He's going to give us a little show there across the line. And he gave us an absolute show tonight. I know we didn't get to watch him much because he was dominating.
Yeah, he was out to his own devices the entire day, but car 79 going to come down and do burnouts in turn 1, it looks like. Certainly well deserved and well earned if he does do some burnouts. But we'll check in with the rest of the field as they try to finish this race up. There is one battle, Cardenas and Bruce just gets to the line first. That was one lap down there. Montgomery and Matta, they come across the line similarly close, but we await Zach Millett down at the checkered flag. And here he comes, around turn 20. One car drifting in the background, I believe that was Colin Terrell in the 20, it was Cody Ellis in the 4, but there's Zach Millett across the stripe in second. Ian Brasfield third. We'll be talking with each of the top 3 drivers after this one. And there's Nathan Paris to go 4th place this evening. Adam Benefield will go 5th. Matt Cherry burns it down across the stripe. He ends up with a bad day. 35th spot for Matt Cherry. Spencer Ray comes down in the Columbus 61. on our sleeves on the side of his car. Here comes Holden McGill. And everybody just goes through the motions, completing this race here. The final lap at Circuit of the Americas. Everybody coming across the stripe. There's Moultrie. Next up will be Jared Wishon.
And this is we're still in our top 10. I mean, we had the white or the checkered flag for
2 minutes.
Salas a while ago, 2 minutes ago.
And here comes Tucker. 2 minutes and about 15 seconds later, he comes across the stripe and hangs on to the lead lap as Vicente Salas will finally burn it down now as the race goes official. There you have it. Race winner, car 79, Vicente Salas.
I mean, look at that. That is awesome. I mean, he is holding it sideways. And it's so cool. It reminds me of the Shane Van Gisbergen.
I think that's what he's going for here, trying to get the drift around
There we go.
Circuit of the Americas, getting the rear end out there just a little bit. It's hard to do in this next-gen car, but he's going for it anyway. Vicente Salas to victory lane. How about a day at the office, though, for Zach Millett, Ian Brasfield, and Nathan Paris? What a day for each of those three. That feels like your top three, unless Vicente is here to run the rest of the season. We'll ask him in his interview.
Yeah, I really am interested to know. I'm really excited to talk to Zach Millett about all that strategy. But again, like what we talked about, just Vicente Salas, I mean, putting on a show today, coming here and just dominating.
Here comes Vicente. Oh, what a shot this could be. Beautiful. Spins it out right in front of our drone. Yes, Vicente. Checkered flag for him. 33 of 34 laps led for Vicente Salas this evening. We'll talk more about that in the unofficial race results. Boy, what a day at the office for the entire front end of the field. Just a very clean race. I know lap one was crazy and chaotic, but a very clean race otherwise. Here's a look at the unofficial race results with Vicente Salas on top in the 79 car. 33 laps led out of 34. Zach Millett with that other lap led, I believe, in second place under that pit cycle. He hangs on over Ian Brasfield. Nathan Paris, Adam Benefiel, your top five. Spencer Ray, Holden McGill, Michael Moultrie, Jared Wishon, and Joseph Tucker, your top 10. We'll go through the rest of the field. Sean Bounty, Daniel Wiles, Kevin West, Noah Rainwater. Brian Wirtz, your top 15. Tristan Bruce in the 16th spot. Dylan Cardinius making his first start of the season, runs 17th. Edward Jurgen, Ryan Dingler, and Quentin Lee, the rest of your top 20. And you see everybody from 11th on back, one lap down. Here you go. Alfie Sharon Jr. in 21st spot. Brian Ruisi, Gary Bowman, Mark Martinek, and Jeremy Brown, your top 25. They all are one lap down. Casey Knighton, 26th, 2 laps down, and the rest, these guys did not have good days. Michael Madden, Matthew Montgomery, Brandon Frohnapple, Matt Lovett, just trying to get through and make the motions here at Circuit of the Americas. I think they'll be happy to go to Las Vegas in 2 weeks. A look through the rest of your field. And we'll be talking to your top three, Vicente Salas, Zach Millett, and Ian Brasfield here shortly. There you see Andon Mendenhall, 42nd. Oh my gosh, what a day that's going to be for him. He was in the top half of the field. He was in the chase coming into this race. I don't know if he's going to be there afterwards. If we look at the point standings, he came into today 5th place in the points. He's going to drop significantly after a 42nd place result. So we will talk with our top three. We'll look first for Vicente Salas and bring him in. We'll bring in race winner Vicente Salas. After 34 laps of racing, Vicente, you're able to go home the victor, and we knew from the get-go you would likely be the winner today, but you had to go through the motions, you had to go through all 34 laps and keep the car on the racetrack, which after that second pit stop was a bit more of a challenge than it was prior. What happened there coming in?
Yeah, well, I mean, the brakes on this car with this setup can be a bit inconsistent. So I was testing it coming into pit road. I felt like I braked at about the same point as the first pit stop. And unfortunately, the tires locked up, and I was like, well, we're going to go into the wall. So I tried to hit it as square as I could. Definitely caused some toe damage there. Probably cost half a second, 3/4 of a second a lap. But nonetheless, we were able to keep it on the track and bring it home to the finish line.
And the big question is this a one-off race for you this season, or do you come back and run more of this season and try to contend for the championship?
I mean, I might contend for the championship. Just depends on scheduling and, if I can make these races. But super grateful that I was able to make it tonight. I love these guys. Noah, one of my best friends, got me in this league. These guys have all been so nice to me, and really just enjoy talking and hanging out with this group. So.
Well, it's not our first time talking to you here at Pit Stop TV, and it certainly is a pleasure to have you back, Vicente, hopefully for more races. Congratulations tonight, and hopefully we'll see you some more.
Thank you guys very much. Have a good one.
Vicente Salas, a quick victory lane interview there with him, and we'll get on down to second place, Zach Millett, who ends up... I think if Vicente is not able to make the rest of the season, he's got to feel like the race winner here at this point. Gets a whole bunch of points for finishing second place, and will definitely hold on to that points lead.
Oh, I fully agree. I mean, it's so impressive as we've got Zach Millett here. Really impressive tonight. Did it feel like, I don't know, I want to add, did it feel like the race win since Vicente was so far out in front?
Yes, it did. It still feels like a win. Yeah,
I was gonna say,
that
I
guy's
bet
a machine.
Oh my gosh. I mean, y'all know it as well as anyone, better than anyone really, for how long he's been with y'all, but really impressive from you tonight. First of all, talk to me about the pit calls. We saw that you decided to take no tires. Tell me about that.
Well, the first stop, it was the plan the whole time to not take tires. The first lap or two on fresh tires is just scary. I mean, you lose so much time, it's almost better off just staying away from them. And I'm looking at my tires right now, even after not taking them at all this race. I'm 94, 95 in the front, 91, 91 in the back. So they're not bad at all. As long as you kept the temperatures down the best you could, not light them up on exit, it was very doable.
Yeah, I was really interested. I mean, it was obviously the right call. I was very interested by it at first because I saw Brassfield take tires, and we saw him. He was 5 seconds back, able to catch up to you back from that stint. But what Andrew pointed out was that he wasn't able to pass you. You had a great defense there. It was really impressive. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about, just what was it like in that defense? I mean, obviously Brassfield was on your back bumper through that second stint. What were you doing in the driver's seat to keep him back there?
I was trying like hell not to look in that mirror, but it was really, really tough. I mean, there was 3 or 4 sections on the track that he was just probably half a second faster. It seemed like he would just come out of nowhere. And like you said, I had to stay defensive and kind of hope for the best and, nail my exits, because a lot of these straightaways, the exits everything.
Yeah, you did a great job, obviously, in the results, finish in front of Brassfield. You won last week, you finished second this week. This is going to do you well in the points. You're top of the points right now. How does that make you feel?
Man, I didn't think it'd ever happen. Our team just kind of jumped in this league, and we just wanted to see where we stacked up and, just have some fun, and it's been a lot of fun for sure. It was a really good last 2 races now, and hopefully we can stay up here. I mean, there's so much talent in this field, it's insane, and we really look forward to it as a team with Whiplash Media guys. And every week, man, we're pumped.
Well, right now, Zach Millett is your regular season championship leader. Congrats, Zach.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that was Zach Millett. And next up, we're going to have who I was talking about, that 89 of Brassfield. He's going to be here talking to Andrew in just a second.
Ian Brassfield able to go third place today. Couldn't quite get back to Zach Millett. Is there anything else you feel like you could have done, Ian, with that 4-tire stop? Do you feel like you could have gone for less fuel? Do you feel like you could have pushed harder? Is there anything else you could have done to get the 31 car tonight?
Well, it was just really strange. He grabbed about 4 seconds off the first stop, and even talking to him, we just couldn't figure out how exactly he did. I was just trying to be safe in that stop, though. You know, just all the black flags that were going off because of people going through multiple pits. So just trying to keep it safe, keep it smooth, come out with the podium.
Well, you're able to come home this evening in what has to feel like a second-place effort, not knowing if Vicente can run the whole season. This is a bunch of points, a big haul for you and your effort this season coming into tonight. We'll bring up the points graphic. I believe you were on here, right? Ian Brasfield looking around. I could have sworn I typed, 23rd place. I knew I typed your name earlier today in the graphic. So this is going to be a big, big help for your season to get closer to that 12th spot and make the playoffs.
Yeah, I was hoping for a better first 2 rounds, but Daytona and Bristol kind of Hail Marys at that point. And now just making sure that I'm locked into each race and making sure I can get what I can from each one.
And I got to ask about this paint scheme. Why so simple?
I simply do not have one yet. This is just a standard iRacing scheme. Threw some colors on it, and there you go.
Well, it's beautiful. Might have to work with you on something here, Ian. Congratulations, 3rd place, a solid day for sure. And hopefully we're talking to you again very soon.
Appreciate it. You have a good one.
Ian Brasfield, good to talk to him for the first time, and comes home in the 3rd place. Started 3rd, currently 3rd. A high of 3rd place. He was 3rd all day long, just about, and comes home tonight with a 3rd place effort. That is a solid day at the office and a bunch of points, as I said, for that 89 camp. And boy, what a day here at Circuit of the Americas. This place is beautiful, puts on great racing. What a day in general. But next up, man, it's Las Vegas Motor Speedway, 174 laps. It'll be a long haul for them, a little over 250 miles, I believe that ends up equating to. Boy, that's going to be a big day at the office for these guys. And then an even bigger day at the office for Charlotte, 260 laps at a 1.5 mile speedway.
That's going to be great. We'll take the week off next week, and then we'll be at Las Vegas, like you said. Then, down to Charlotte, Iowa, Atlanta. Man, I'm excited for all these tracks coming up here towards the end of the year.
New Hampshire might be the next track these guys are absolutely dreading. It is so difficult on iRacing in the NASCAR next-gen car especially. Such a tough place to get around. That might be the next place these guys absolutely dread going to. 185 laps there on December 11th should be a wild one for sure. But you see the full schedule, the chase there highlighted in that red box. That'll be St. Louis, Miami, Talladega, Sonoma, Kansas, and California. And that's the full season for us for the SimRap Market Series here in 2024. We wanted to go through that graphic first because you don't see a single SimRap Market race on this graphic here, the upcoming broadcast for us at Pit Stop TV, because we have the week off. And next Wednesday, after we go to Homestead Miami Speedway for the Icon Cup Series in their first race of the round of 4, after we go there, we go to Auto Club Speedway next Wednesday for the Regal Promotions Jack-O-Lantern 200 on October 30th, the day before Halloween. Yes, we're getting spooky, and we are tricking and treating on October 30th. This should be a lot of fun. Going to be an exciting day for sure. Not only are we going racing at Auto Club, Scott, we're going racing in the Gen 6 cars. So a little bit of a throwback to what was at one point in time with the next, well, not the next gen car, the previous gen car, the Gen 6 car. Going to be a lot of fun. We'll see the older 2021 Ford Mustang, Chevrolet Camaro, and Toyota Camry in action for that one. And then the next Sunday thereafter, November 3rd, we'll go racing with the Icon Cup Series at Martinsville Speedway. And Scott, there's plenty of places to follow along and catch all the action here at Pit Stop TV.
Oh, you're going to find all the action. You're going to find us at our website, pitstoptv.com, our Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and X. You can find us all around if you want a place to see great racing.
Thanks for tuning in this evening. It has been a pleasure as always. And as always, a big thank you goes out to our partners with the series, SimRapMarket.com, Apex Sim Racing, IMB Raceware, Moza Racing, RS Button Boxes, Team Conti Sim Performance, Track Bar Media, The Butt Kicker, Extreme Graphics, and Cyber Edge Hosting, making it happen for us here at the SimRap Market Series. A big thank you to our partners with the channel, Whiplash SimCams, ATVO, CC's Business, and Cody Williams Design. That'll do it for us this evening from Circuit of the Americas. Scott, thanks so much for joining me here today. It's been a pleasure as always. 3 weeks rolling now. Maybe we'll make it our regular. Who knows? We'll see for the rest of 2024 and into 2025. Going to be a lot of fun here on Wednesdays for sure. Until next time, thanks for tuning in once again, and we'll see you all at the races.
A new wave has formed for Season 2, an epic tour that ends with a new legacy. The OGs are back, ready to defend their legacy, while fresh meat joins the competition, eager to make their mark. Who is willing to battle door-to-door and conquer 2024? Buckle up, because the season of a lifetime is among us.
Here we go. Who's going to get the better restart? Look at all this action as we come on lap 100.